What's up, guys? This is Tama here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be talking about something a little different today. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Umbrella Academy Season 2 premiere. It premiered yesterday, and long story short, it was awesome. I mean, the visuals, the writing, the acting, everything was just awesome. And there's going to be some spoilers. So, first and foremost, I just want to talk about the ending because there was a huge plot twist that I did not expect. So, Layla is the love interest of Diego. For those who don't know Umbrella Academy, I don't want to explain it in complete detail, like recap it again. So just Google it, like you'll find out the premise of the show. But if I were to just summarize it really quick, it's about 7 siblings. They all have different powers, and they're raised by this eccentric billionaire guy, right? So anyway, Lila is Diego's love interest. Diego's one of the 7. And so Lila, she like meets Diego in the asylum, and you could tell like she's way too smart being in the asylum. Like nothing about her really, to me, made her look like she had any type of like mental issues that she would be in the asylum, because she was very crafty, very smart, very cunning, and she's actually the one that helps Diego break out of the asylum. So long story short, Lila, we find out, is an assassin basically working for the commission, and her quote unquote mom is the handler. The handler and number 5, which is Diego's brother, they have beef pretty much. So the season finale, we find out all these things about Lila, how she became the handler's stepchild or adopted child, and we find out that Lila isn't just a assassin, like a trained assassin. Her power is basically like Marvel's Rogue. For those of you who are big Marvel Comics fans, you'll know who Rogue is. So depending on who she's fighting, in terms of superpowers, she mimics their powers and can use it against them. And that had me shook in the season finale. I was like, what? She basically she's really like, she's dangerous. You know, she's not just good at like fighting you hand to hand combat. If you have powers, she will mimic those powers and use it to destroy. I mean, did not see that coming. Another thing was, I was a bit confused midway through the plot when they were trying to stop the apocalypse that the siblings brought to this new dimension. This new dimension is in the 1960s, right? And the apocalypse that they brought with them was right before the Kennedy assassination. So all of this was going on, and they only had a couple of days to correct it. So we find out that the reason for this next apocalypse is because of Vanya. And for those of you who might not know or might not watch the show, Vanya is also, again, one of the 7 siblings, and she's the most powerful out of all of them. She like just can shoot powerful rays of light, and it could destroy everything. It's what caused the last apocalypse, and she is again what caused this apocalypse. So once they find out, they basically have to figure out ways to like stop that, and they do, but at so many costs. Another thing that I liked this season was Ben. Again, Ben is one of the other siblings, but he died, which you find out in season 1. And I was a bit disappointed in season 2 that we didn't really find out in more detail how Ben died. They touched on it just like a little bit more, that Ben and the other siblings, they were sent on a mission when they were kids, and something went wrong, and so Ben died. But they didn't go, the writers didn't go much into detail about like how he really died. And I guess I could see maybe why. Maybe they want to, still put some suspense for season 3. But I was just a bit disappointed that like we didn't get the full details of how Ben died. But Ben this season, I mean, so sad, like he basically haunts Klaus, his other brother, who can see dead people, for the past like 17 years. But they have such a cute sibling rivalry, like sibling fight. Like it's completely adorable this season. Like if you check out a couple of the scenes, their connection is really sweet. And Ben, again a spoiler, Ben is actually the one that saves Vanya when her powers get completely out of control again, when she's not really comfortable with who she is. Like once she starts getting her powers again this season, he helps her, to like calm down, but in the process he's erased, like his spirit is erased. But then again, plot twist in the season finale, when the siblings save the dimension, the 1960s dimension, save it from an apocalypse, they come back thinking they're back home at their timeline, but they're not, because in the timeline they come back to, Ben is alive, and Ben like has a scar on his face for whatever reason. So I think that's a hint that maybe in season 3 we'll get into more detail about how Ben died, and maybe that's how he got that scar across his face, and also what could have been if Ben was still alive. But another thing too, Allison, I really liked her this season. Her power is she can rumor anything to or anyone to make them do something. So her power, like, it'll start off with saying, I heard a rumor you hit yourself in the face, or I heard a rumor you fell down the stairs. So it's the power of persuasion, literally, but it actually makes that person do that act. And so in the first season, Allison gets her throat slashed, but luckily she's still alive, but her throat gets slashed by Vanya, because in the first season, Vanya couldn't control her powers. And so she spent like about a year or so in the second season just not using her power because she couldn't physically do it for the first couple of months, and also just really finding herself. I mean, she was fighting in the civil rights movement, got married to a civil rights activist, and got to use her voice but in an authentic way. And I thought that was such like a great character growth. And of course, I guess my final point, the visuals of the movie, I mean, awesome. The fight scenes, the pictures, the colors, the whole setting of how the background of where each character is, I mean, awesome. And actually, no, I was going to say the visuals were my final point, but also let's talk about the Swedes. There were these ominous 3 Swedish assassins who the commission hired to take out members of the Umbrella Academy, but they ended up dying one by one and actually ended up getting played by one of the members of the commission. But shout out to the actors who played the Swedes, because for the first couple of episodes, the Swedes were mute. They did not say any word, but their gestures and the way they acted with their bodies, it was enough to portray who they were. And I thought for a while that the Swedes maybe might have been robots, because they were drinking milk from a bottle, and it didn't look like milk. It looked like some type of orb or magic juice or something like that. Like, it did not look like regular milk. So I was wondering if maybe they might be like one of those androids, like humanoid robots that don't die, but they obviously can die. And if you look in one of the scenes where one of the Swedes is looking at a picture of him and his brothers and like an old lady, I was like, oh, that makes sense. No, they are real people. They have a mom, and the brothers are all connected. So they don't say anything until like towards the last, I want to say 2 or 3 episodes, where we finally hear them speak. I'm like, whoa. So those are my final thoughts about the Umbrella Academy season 2. I'm looking forward to season 3 so much, because there are more questions, there are more answers that need to happen, and the actors, I mean, amazing. It was a highly anticipated premiere and a well done season, and I really hope Netflix continues to renew them for another season, because they deserve it. So, if you guys like this video, if you've watched The Umbrella Academy, please let me know in the comments what you thought about this season, what you think about the show in general. What are your theories about some of the the things I've talked about and how you think it might come about in season 3. Be sure to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.